Hey guys, Bix Weir, roadtour.com. We got Ken Swartz from C-60 Purple Power. I don't even know where to start with you, Ken, because there's things that we could talk about on YouTube, things that we can't talk about. So we're gonna start with the things we are allowed to talk about. We are allowed to talk about C-60, which is if you've been following the Road to Ruta long enough, you know I can't even count. You can't count the amount of lives that have been saved. But we can't get too conspiratorial.
No, we can't. Or say too many things in that, there's
exactly. But
yeah, it's gotten to quite the point where we have to actually, we are living in, the Soviet Union just moved here. So we literally live in a corporatist Soviet Union.
Yes.
Where,
and we will get to that. We will get, I just hit 100,000 subscribers and I know they're going to come after me.
Yep.
We'll do that in the second half. Second half of this is going to be for the private road. All you Road to Ruta people will enjoy our conspiracy talk. But first, let's talk about C-60. C-60 Purple Power is your company, and why don't you give us the couple minutes of
the C-60. Yeah, if people are thinking C-60 is a molecule of 60 carbon atoms shaped exactly like a little soccer ball, and basically it's one of nature's most powerful antioxidants. And people and it neutralizes oxidative radicals. What are oxidative radicals? Well, that's what's rusting your body. So you get the little achy sore joints, you're basically rusting out. And when you oxidative radicals, what do? They punch holes in your cell walls so things leak in and out that they shouldn't. Cross-link proteins, they don't work, damage DNA and RNA, and that's all those good things. And C-60 helps neutralize those oxidative radicals. So that's kind of the short thing about it. I could even do the little story. I don't know if people have heard my story.
Well, we have, and this is what I want to show you. I'm going to share a screen real quick here. We have a complete page of dedicated to Ken and C-60. Can you see that, Ken?
Yes, I can. Yeah, just go there to learn the whole story. But,
yeah, main thing great stuff there.
Yeah, the main thing about C-60, it's an SOD catalase mimic, and SOD is superoxide dismutase and catalase. They work together to get rid of the molecule, the oxidative radical superoxide. That's basically an oxygen with an extra electron. That is the most damaging, quote, rust-causing oxidative radical in the body. And it also gets rid of the hydroxyl ion, neutralizes it back to water. And that's the second most damaging oxidative radical in the body. And that really happens in your mitochondria. I don't know if people are familiar. Mitochondria are like little organelles in your cells. You can have dozens to hundreds, depending on what cell type. Like your brain has the most mitochondria. Then the endocrine system and the muscles have like the second and third. And so basically, as we get older, catalase and SOD production goes down. So your mitochondria, which ATP that provides all the energy for your cells, the energy for you to live, goes down as well. That's why you get old, you get lethargic, right? You just want to lie around, you just don't have the energy. Well, C-60, when you take C-60, C-60 is uptaken, it passes the gut barrier, passes the blood-brain barriers, actively taken into the cells by endocytosis, and then to the mitochondria, and the mitochondria use it as a SOD catalytic mimic to get rid of that superoxide and hydroxyl ions. And so that means your mitochondria return to full function, and that means you get your ATP back. And once you get ATP back, then you get the energy you need to live your life the way you used to when you were younger. You remember how much it was easier to live when you were younger. So absolutely, that's what it is. And then also the other thing that mitochondria make is pregnenolone. That's the precursor molecule for all the hormones. So after about a month of taking C-60, you're going to notice significant changes in like your hormonal state. Well, one of the side effects of C-60 is a significant increase in libido in both men and women. Woo-hoo! So yeah, you get your mojo back. So that's a side effect. And so those are the kind of the good things. You can listen to the stuff to the links and learn lots and lots more about it. But we like to think we're the best C-60 product on the market. Yeah,
I have taken many C-60 different varieties, and then I found you guys, and I can feel the difference. There is a difference that you feel. Anyway, if you guys want to get some, go to roadtoruta.com under affiliates. Click on the affiliates tab, and there they are right at the top. Purple Power C-60. And then you go to this page. It's got a couple of interviews with myself and Ken. And then key here is you get 10% off with the coupon code Road to Ruta. Just click on the link there, C-60 Purple Power / Road to Ruta. And don't forget to use the coupon code to get your 10% off. But all the information, I mean, Ken is I would love to call him a mad scientist, but he's not mad. He's a sane scientist. And we've gone over, I mean, you'll get everything you need to know on this page. That's at roadtoruta.com, affiliates, and it's the first one. So go check that out. Okay, now we're going to talk about another thing that we can talk about on YouTube now. We're going to talk about the silver and gold markets. Yeah, and I want to get Ken's fresh perspective, and he is an expert in silver and gold as well. What's your take on sub $20 silver, Ken?
Well, it's ridiculous. Look, come on. You go down to your grocery store. Prices have doubled, right? Go down to the gas pipe. Prices have doubled, right? And silver has gone down in value. That just shows you how fixed the market is. I mean, because the Federal Reserve can make money out of thin air and then loan it to the banks at whatever 0% interest, or maybe they'll do it through the reverse repo scam, and then they can pump the derivatives any direction they want, and that's also one of the problems with BitChute. I mean, not with BitChute, but I'm sorry, with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, they commoditize Bitcoin on the commodities market, so they can do the same manipulation against Bitcoin, which then if you manipulate Bitcoin, it's going to affect all the rest of the coins, as they do with silver, as they do with gold. And I mean, look at the price of nickel. It's gone through the roof, right? But nickel's not associated with the value of the dollar, because traditionally, actually, silver was the main form of money people used, because, you can't really carry around gold that much. It's a little bit more expensive, 10 to 1 originally. Now it's like, what is it, 82 to 1?
I think
83 to 1?
Closer to 90 to 1 now.
90 to 1. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, I believe in the US fixed it to like 15 to 1 or 20 to 1 back in the days when we actually had a real government. And so now it's just, but the thing is, the whole thing's coming apart, because one of the things, we'll probably talk some more later, but the BRICS people all got together. They cut China off the SWIFT system and Russia off the SWIFT system. So they're basically trading with their own currencies, right? The US, and right now, Nigeria is now trading oil for won. Nigeria, and they were discussing it with Gulf, with Saudi Arabia and the other Gulf states, because whatever Saudi Arabia do, the rest will do. And they've already in private, behind the scenes, agreed to trade Middle East oil in won. Okay, that's already been agreed. It's only the Saudis have just said that we have to wait until the opportune moment, probably when the US has a market crash, to say, oh, we're going to the won. Yeah. So the US dollar as the world trading currency is over. Absolute over. It's in the grave. All they have to do is throw the dirt on top of the grave. That's all that's left to do.
Joe Biden is actually going to Saudi Arabia to negotiate something. Now, if he does what he did with Turkey, where he negotiated by giving Turkey a whole bunch of F-16 fighter planes for their not blocking the entrance into NATO of a couple countries, that what we're doing is completely the opposite of what we should do. Everything that is going on with this administration is completely the opposite. Now, from a conspiracy standpoint,
we can get in trouble.
Okay.
We can get in trouble.
Well, yeah, no, this is in the newspaper. From a conspiracy standpoint, to me, it's the good guys. It's all part of the plan, and just to show us how crazy this stuff is. But even without going down the conspiracy road, I think we're going to see $15 gasoline prices come September, because the inflation rate a year ago, July, August, and September, was flat. So any bump up in price is going to be fully actuated in the CPI numbers for the next 3 months. And the months before last year, it was going up at the beginning of the year and then at the end of the year. So the exaggeration of CPI numbers is going to be.
Yeah, well, you might see $10 a gallon milk prices, maybe even higher. Because what people don't know is, I'm talking with farm people and people that talk with farm people. There's been because the price of diesel is so high, and then the price of fertilizer is through the roof. So a lot of farmers have not planted or have only planted a fraction of what they did before. Now, if you're an organic farmer, organic farmers are going to make out a thing. Something I think people might want to do is there's a lot of farms in our area here. I'm in the greater Denver metro area, but there's probably the same everywhere, where you can buy into a farm and you get like a piece of the farm's production. So you pay them a certain amount of money every month, and they will put a box of food in front of your house. And that is all you need to go out and find a farmer and become part of like a farm share program there. Or even they have when you get raw milk, you can buy a part of a cow, right? You own a percentage of the cow and you get a percentage of the milk. That would, because there's going to be huge food shortages, pretty serious, coming up here in the fall. If I talk to truckers too, you know, they're the diesel exhaust fuel, diesel exhaust treatment, whatever is that, debt or something.
Mhm.
You need that to run the trucks. Actually, you can hack the computer. And I actually saw a guy doing that. He didn't have his diesel exhaust treatment or whatever they put in there. I can't remember what the name exactly is. And he was going down the hill and you could see the smokestacks blowing, you know, diesel out the way they used to.
Yep.
See, what that is basically a urea, and they mix it with the diesel so it doesn't make the smoke. Well, and if you don't do that, then the diesel will not run. But you can go into the brain box and just shut off the emissions system, and then you can run it like an old diesel. So, you know, if they could have like a total loss of that fuel additive so that diesels could run clean. And probably what they'll do is they'll just turn that sucker off, and the diesels will blow the smoke down the road just to keep the food going. Yep. But yeah, it's going to be pretty ugly this fall. So, you know, if you could set things up with a farmer, local farmer, co-ops, anything you can do,
plant your own garden as well. I mean, get those going and plant your own garden, grow what you can. Even if you live in a city, you can grow sprouts indoors. Because you're gonna need not only your dried food and your, you know, emergency food, but also you need some vitamins coming into your body, and your C-60. Don't forget your C-60. I take a swig every morning of C-60, and that's how I look so handsome at almost 58 years old. And
you might keep going, because one of the studies of C-60, the first study was with the bocce study, and it actually doubled the lifespan of test animals. Of course, they started when the rats were in their 20s, so, but hopefully, you know, we'll keep it a little going a little longer. It
sounds good to me. I tell you what, I want to get into the nitty gritty, dirty stuff. So we're going to have to cut off YouTube. All you YouTube followers, thank you. Go to roadrunner.com, click on affiliates.
Okay. We did get this. We could do a little more silver talk.
Okay.
One thing I haven't
whoa, look at that.
Talk about. Yes, this is, for those people out there, this is native silver. That means it's pure silver metal in calcite. And that's from, I believe, that's from the Beaver mine. And this is from La Rose. That's another mine. These are in Colorado mines. I got their slice things. So that's like 50% silver. And the thing is, like, you would never recognize this. Look at this. This is the side that, you know, didn't get anything. Yep. If you walk by that in the trail, would you even notice that? I would. I have a geology degree. So yeah, so silver, and native silver is kind of interesting. I'm a biogeochemist out there, and I could just do the history of silver, how it gets made. Well, this all starts with the seafloor subduction level. You know, like the coast of California, in certain areas, or coast of Oregon, the seafloor is diving underneath the continent. And when it gets to about 25,000 feet down, about 6 or 7 miles, the mud and all the sediments, they turn into molten lava. They heat up and turn into molten lava. And of course, you know, the steam, it becomes superheated steam, which is like, I don't know if people know about triple point. There's a point where you heat something at pressure, and it's like both steam, water, and almost a solid. It's this weird triple point thing. And that's what they use to make decaffeinated coffee. They actually use, usually they use carbon dioxide at triple point, and they blast it through the beans, and it takes out like all the caffeine and several other substances. So that kind of happens deep down there. And so all the things, all the oxygen's gone because it combines with, you know, carbon dioxide, turns to carbon dioxide, just stuff you see coming out of the volcano. There's a lot of things. And then, and in there, it gets super hot, super acidic. And I don't know if we can see these.
Oh yeah, there's the bad scientist.
These are called the ruby silvers because they're kind of ruby colored. And these are the ores that silver usually comes in. And if you notice the Ag, that's silver, and then their copper is the same family of silver. So they often travel together. and they're all sulfur salts, where they either form with arsenic or antimony, which is in the same family as arsenic, and sulfurs, and then they come up through like hydrothermal vents, and they come up, and then they deposit when it gets cool. They deposit, they come out of solution and become ores. And you got a lot of iron sulfite there, and various zinc and other copper ores. It's never like a pure thing. But these guys are kind of unique. This forms differently. Long after those ore deposits form, most of those are at the surface, by the way. And that's something that people should be aware of. Silver deposits, most of them are at the very surface, and they've really been tapped out. The easy ones to get to. And just the gold's different. Gold deposits differently than silver. So there's a lot of gold left, but there's not as much silver. Like right now, if you look at it, Mexico's the #1 producer. I think Peru's #2. Both of those right on subduction zones. That's where, it's produced. China's the 3rd. I think it's Chile, Argentina, Russia, Poland, the US, Canada, Africa, I guess Africa, that's not a nation, Australia. And so that's so right along that rim of the North America on the west coast. That's where they got a lot of subduction zones, where then the silver is made, and near those volcanic mountains, and basically hot springs, super hot springs. But that happens like thousands of feet under the ground, and then years and years later, the ground erodes, and those ores become available. But here's something just interesting. Of total silver reserves in the world, Russia is actually rated the highest at 45,000 million tons, and China comes in #2 at 41,000 million tons, and then Mexico is 37,000 million tons. Chile is 26, and then US is 25, and Bolivia is 22. So
are these USGS numbers, or is that?
It's from silver mining company estimates. So like a age organization. That's just, those are guesstimates, by the way, folks.
Right. Yeah.
We really don't. We're still learning geology, and there's probably things. But have you noticed that like that whole rim along North and South America on the west coast, where they have those subduction zones, that's where the silver comes from. And like Australia has a little bit, but that's from old subduction zones. And so if you think about that, Mexico, China, Russia, Chile, a little bit in the US, Bolivia too. But one of the problems is if silver does go to 600, which it probably will, unfortunately, the dollar will become toilet paper at that point. But you also have to worry about a lot of people want to do mining stocks. And
there's a lot of third-party risk there.
That's right, because if silver becomes that valuable, are those countries just going to let private companies do those mines?
Especially foreigners.
Exactly. Them damn foreigners aren't going to steal our silver. So they will, they'll probably nationalize that, and not to help their people, but certainly to put it into the revenue stream of the government.
Mexico,
and into their pockets.
Mexico should be the richest country in the world. They've exported the most silver. A third of the silver that's been mined has been exported by Mexico.
Yeah.
When Trump said, I'm going to build a wall, but Mexico's going to pay for it. Mexico will pay for it if they have free fair market value.
Americans out.
To keep the Mexicans out or into. All the Mexicans are going to want to go back to Mexico, and the Americans are going to want to run down to Mexico because they have such value in the ground.
There's that. Yeah, because you can just imagine. And Russia actually has the world's largest reserve, but it's the biggest country in the world as well by far. So that's not surprising. And China's like one of the other biggest countries. So. So that whole area in Latin America will have a silver renaissance.
I think.
By the way, these guys form differently. They have those silver deposits up on all these silver ores, and they're all arsenic and antimony sulfur salts. Well, what happens is after millions of years, rain comes down, especially in calcium. When rain actually falls, it picks up carbon dioxide and becomes slightly acidic. Mm-hmm. So then if it goes in a calcium
acid rain, there you go.
It's always done that, and it sinks down, and then it kind of dissolves those salts. And then at some point after the salts are dissolved, the silver gets mobilized as a hydroxide, a complex hydroxide calcide kind of thing. And then it goes into, and this probably rock was originally all calcite. And then as the silver hydroxide came down there. It's a complicated mixture. It kind of dissolved the calcite and replaced it with silver. So and so that's where you find these pure things. And these are found like several thousand feet underneath like one of these ore deposits. So if you dig the ore deposit up, right, of these various things, and if it's been weathered a lot, you can get another pure silver deeper, about 1,000 feet down or something. In like the channels where the water works its way down into the groundwater, that's where you'll find these guys.
You know what's really cool, guys? We're going to get Ken out on one of our road show stops, which is in Denver, right near his home. We're going to get him out there with us, and we're going to be able to, you can meet Ken, you can meet me and the family, and I'm not sure who else is coming, but there'll be a big show in Denver. That's on July 23rd, July 23rd. Yes. Can't wait to hang out again. It's hanging with Ken is like your mind does somersaults and backflips. It's so excited to get tantalized by his wisdom. All right, Ken, thank you so much. We're going to close this up on YouTube and talk some conspiracy stuff.
Yeah, the things you can't say.
Oh my God. Go to roadtoruta.com affiliates to get your C-60. And the coupon code is Road to Ruta. And yeah, get that going. So you guys take care. All you private road members, let's go on over to the private road starting now.